I've been tracking my habits every single day for a long time, and I found interesting stuff. A couple months ago, my life started to feel like a never-ending to-do list. Lots of work, but getting nowhere. Then I had a serious accident that led me to dark places. I had a lot of time to think, and I came up with the conclusion that something had to change. So I decided to study my days, see where the time was going, and I've been wasting a lot of time. We all have different ways of doing things, but most of us follow similar routines every day. Wake up, breakfast, coffee, read the news, work, workout, social time. There are things in your day-to-day that are important. Start tracking those activities, and whatever it is you want to improve in your life, add it to your list. You'll be surprised. I have 8 daily wins. These are the things that I know I should do as much as I can and keep track of because they make my life better. I like to keep things simple. I find that when I overcomplicate stuff, I don't stick to it, and that's not the mission here. I've tried analog systems. They look cool, they're fun, but not efficient. Digital wins because you can see everything at once, and most apps add up the numbers for you. The end goal is to see if you're being consistent, so keep it simple. I use a habit tracker on Notion. It's a simple habit tracker optimized for convenience. I have these 2 views, calendar that I use daily and backend for a more detailed view. It just takes me a minute or 2 to do it every day. I also like to write notes when something special happens for future reference. I'll explain why in a minute. Every day after completing the activity I'm tracking, I check the box. They're in order by time. Okay, swimming first thing in the morning. This is the most important habit in my life right now because it's helped me so much with my rehab. I basically got this arm back because of swimming. If you have any kind of injury, swim, it'll help. Now, I know swimming is not as sexy as running right now, but hey, swimming is hands down the best cardio you can do. It is also a full body strength workout, and it doesn't destroy your joints. What else do you need? Reading, the second most important thing that I try to do every day. If there is no input, there is no output. I only check this box when I have at least one solid reading session. 45 to 60 minutes of uninterrupted reading is a good session for me. I usually read non-fiction books in the morning and fiction later in the day. Sometimes articles, and if I don't have enough time to read a full book or I want to learn something specific, I use short form. I'm a big fan of the book guides. They're short, simple, and packed with the best ideas from your non-fiction books. I'm reading this one right now, Ikigai and Kaizen by Anthony Raymond, Learning the Japanese Secrets to Finding Happiness and Professional Success. A lot of great information. I'll leave a link to short form in the description in case you're interested. You get a free trial and a 20% discount. The first walk usually happens in the morning on my way to a co-working or coffee shop. It's pretty short, 10 to 15 minutes, sets the mood for creative work. The reason I track my walks is because if I check this box, it means I left my home, which I try to do as much as I can because I am kind of a hermit. So this is a little reminder to leave my home, move, have social interactions, be human. Journal before I work. Even though I like to track my life with digital apps, I prefer to write on paper. Putting pen to paper just feels different, and I also feel like my brain works harder when I do. I don't use my notebook as a productivity tool. I use it as a creative tool. I have a journaling practice. I find it very important to write with my hands before I start to work. I do a lot of lists to make space in my brain. You know what I mean? Like when you know you have to do something and you can't stop thinking about it, but as soon as you write it down on paper, you forget about it. It goes away like magic. As a side note, I don't use the checklist for productivity. I use it as a tool to empty my brain. When it comes to planning my days, I do time blocking on a calendar. It is the single greatest productivity tip you'll ever hear. Time block your days. Nothing else matters. The calendar is also a great tool to see where your time is going. More on that later. Work, it happens around 9 a.m. every day. I only check this box if I have at least 2 work sessions. For me, 90 minutes of no distractions, focused work is a solid work session, but sometimes less, 60 minutes or more, 120. It depends on the type of work I'm doing. Workout after work, usually midday or later in the afternoon. It depends on how busy I am. Not every day because I'm not an athlete. I'm sort of following a hybrid training program where I lift on the days I'm not swimming. It looks like this, but sometimes it changes a bit. Then there is social time. It's all the way at the end because that's when I socialize when I do. Definitely not every day. And clean food at the end of the day because that's when I know if I ate well that day. Okay, so a good month for me usually looks like this. For swimming, workouts, and social time, the goal is to do it at least 3 times a week. Pretty low bar for some, maybe the athletes out there, but for me, it's a strong number. There is something you should know about me is that I like to keep things as simple and easy as I can so that I can stick to them for a long time. Because what's the point of doing something if you are going to quit? 14 swimming sessions, good number. 13 workouts, great. 10 social days, almost there. This is the one I struggle with the most because I am antisocial as fuck. But believe it or not, before I started tracking this item, I was being even less social. So if you are like me, start tracking your social days and you will see how antisocial you're being. For the rest of the activities, I follow the 80-20 rule. That means 24 out of 31 days. So reading 27, solid number. Short walks 29. This one should be 31. Let's see why it's not a perfect score. So June 15th, I didn't do anything. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe this day. Complete waste of life because I went out the day before. Do you also have 3-day hangovers? Or is it just me? Alright, journal 25, work 23, also good. Should be 24, but if I get 20, I'm happy with that. You know, I've been trying to find balance between work and fun for such a long time, and it hasn't been easy because I am self-employed. I am a freelance commercial videographer, besides also making videos for YouTube. A lot of you guys complain that I don't make videos that frequently, and that's the reason why I don't post that often. I don't live with my parents. I gotta pay my bills, my guys. I'm sorry. Anyways, how do you find balance between work and fun? Can it be done? And clean eating 24. Good number. Alright, interesting findings. On the days when I swim in the morning, I'm more productive. Even though I feel a little bit tired after swimming, numbers don't lie. You see here, I check almost all the boxes when I swim, and I get higher scores compared to days when I don't go to the pool. Maybe it's because I'm in a better mood after swimming? I don't know. If I overwork, my social life suffers, and when that happens, interestingly, work suffers. Because if there is nothing to look forward in my calendar, I get bored, and work stops being fulfilling. Funny connection. So I've also noticed that on days that I worked really hard, I tend to go to bed late, so I don't sleep well, I don't wake up on time for swimming, I start my days in high gear, tired, stressed, make bad food choices. It's a trap. So I learned that to keep the other parts of my life healthy and moving in the right direction, I shouldn't work more than 5 hours per day. Another interesting find is that I tend to eat clean when I am antisocial. So whenever I'm trying to get in shape, you won't see me. Okay, so by now you can see that if you start tracking your habits, you'll have pretty useful information to improve your life. Something as simple as a digital habit tracker will do the trick, any habit tracker. But if you want to take things a little bit further, you can start using your calendar as well. This is not something you have to do, but if you are already organizing your days with a calendar, you'll have the record anyways. So I said at the beginning of the video that I like to write notes on some days when something special happens just for future reference. Going back to June, on the 25th it says I'm productive. Twice exercise per day makes me exhausted. It's a little vague, so let's go back to that day on the calendar. I can see that I went for a swim in the morning, then I went to the gym midday. I was exhausted. In the afternoon, I did nothing. Of course, training twice a day will take a toll on your energy, but if I go back a little further, I can see that I went on a field trip on Monday. Filming day, I was helping my brother with a music video, his first album, by the way. If you're into house music, it's a nice set. I'll link it down below. Anyways, the next day I was shattered. Normal. But I went to the gym at night. And Wednesday, I woke up, went for a swim, midday, the gym again. My body was telling me, my dude, what are you doing? We are not used to this intensity. Relax. Now I know working out twice a day is hard for me. And if I'm gonna be a couch potato for the rest of the day, it's not worth it. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Now, without this record, it would have been impossible for me to know why I was so tired that day and unproductive. Habit tracking is a great simple tool to learn about yourself, understand your limits, live a more intentional life, be more productive, all the good things. That's my system. I guess we all have different ways of doing things. Maybe you can recreate some of the things I do or not. I'm sure you'll find your way. What's important, it's that simple enough so you can stick to it for a long time, start seeing the patterns and make the changes as you go. That's it. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.